If you've watched the 2015 horror film, The Witch, then you probably guessed who we're going to talk about today. It's Charlie the Goat. So let's jump on in for a hoofy hot minute. All right, it's just me, Paul, your ride or die, and we're going to be talking about Charlie the Goat. So who was Charlie exactly? Well, he was a billy goat that was over 200 pounds, and he was known for being really difficult to work with. Like, you would tell him to do one thing and he would just do the exact opposite. But you'd probably know him from his biggest role, the 2015 film Witch, directed by Robert Eggers. And this is slight spoilers for the film, so feel free to skip over this. But it's about a family in the 1600s that are farming and some weird stuff starts to happen. Kids disappear. There might be some witches, there may not, who knows? And it all culminates to the appearance of Charlie as Black Phillip, also known as Lucifer, or the devil, or the morning star. You know, 666, hail to the beast, dudes. So how did he get this role? Well, it was described that he looked the most Black Phillip-ish. Anna Kilsch, the animal trainer on set, had talked about how he just had the biggest horns and would go on record saying that goats just don't have bigger horns than that. So he had a big pair, and that's how he got the role. To the point where they actually ended up giving him more screen time because he looked so intimidating. The actual role of Black Phillip was small, and they expanded it once they saw this big boy. But he was actually really unstable when they went to go film this whole production. Edgar was on record saying that if we wanted to do something violent, he would just stand still and go to sleep. And if we asked him to stand still, he would be running around like a madman. He even had beef with the lead actor Ralph Ineson. He was actually quoted as saying, "From the moment we set eyes on each other, it was just hate on first sight." And at this time, Black Phillip was 50 pounds bigger than him, and there were scenes where they had to wrestle with each other, so it did not go well. And actually, on the fourth day of filming with Charlie rammed his horns into his ribs and ended up dislodging a tendon. Ralph went on to say that everything hurt and he had to be on painkillers for the final 5 weeks of filming. So, kinda bad news. To the point where they didn't want to do some scenes with Charlie, so they ended up having 2 puppets made. The first didn't go so well. The second one was like half the size of Charlie, but they wanted realism, so they ended up not using it. But there is a cute story that Eggers tells about a guy having to fly from LA to the set with a giant goat puppet next to him, which sounds absolutely ridiculous. But in the end, they actually had to remove some of the Black Phillip scenes because Charlie was too chaotic. Edgar would go on to say that he would never work with Charlie again, but the animal trainer, Anna, did say that while it was a difficult shoot, he did it perfectly. To promote the film, Charlie created his own Twitter account, which has famous tweets like, "Bah, bah, bah." And it did go dormant in 2016, but if you want to check it out, we'll link it to you in the show notes. Finally, Charlie did have one additional film role in the 2017 movie It Comes at Night. But the rumor has it that he was blacklisted from Hollywood because he was so difficult to work with. So now he spends his days living on a farm in North Carolina, living his best goat life. Anyways, that's all I got, my dudes. Bye-bye! If you like this episode or enjoy the full Hoofin' It in Hollywood podcast, please feel free to like, review, or subscribe. I'm your host, Paul, and I'll see you next time.